Hello, teachers and staff. My name is Ashley Episcopo, and today I will be presenting on harassment, intimidation, and bullying with a focus on how we can help the bully. So first I would like to go over what harassment, intimidation, and bullying, or HIB, is based on the New Jersey law. So it is any gesture, any written, verbal, or physical act, or any electronic communication. It could be a single incident or series of incidents. It is reasonably perceived as being motivated either by an actual or perceived characteristic. So this could include characteristics such as race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, or mental, physical, or sensory disability, or by any other distinguishing characteristic. It can take place on school property, so this includes, the hallways, in the classroom, in the lunchroom, in the bathrooms, or even something such as a school dance, so it could be after school hours as well. It could be on a school bus, or it could also take place off ground, so most of the time we see this in cyberbullying. And it disrupts or interferes with the orderly operation of the school or the rights of other students. And it will have an effect physically or emotionally harming the student or damaging the student's property or placing a student in reasonable fear of physical or emotional harm to this person or the damage of this person's property. So I would like to go over some statistics about bullying. So I found that 1 out of 5 youth admit being a bully or doing some form of bullying. So that's 1 in 5 of our students have actually partaken in being the bully. 77% of our students have been bullied, and 14% say they experience serious reactions due to the abuse of bullying. So 77% of students have been bullied, and that's a pretty high number, so that's most of our students. 8% of students miss 1 day of class per month due to the fear of being bullied. So if that's 1 day per month, that's 9 days out of the year that they might be absent due to the fear of being bullied. And every 7 minutes, a child is bullied on the playground, and it has been found that 85% of the time there's no intervention. So that remaining percentage can be an intervention from other peers or from a teacher. So, the other 15% of the time is not necessarily from an adult figure. It also could be from peers their own age being the person to intervene. So there's also a difference between bullying and conflict. I've seen that a lot of parents, students, and teachers might not understand the difference between a bullying incident and conflict. So bullying is an aggressive behavior with the intent to harm and has a perceived power imbalance. So there's a power imbalance between the victim and the bully. But with conflict, this could happen between 2 people or a group of friends. It's normally with friends, and both parties have equal power. So they may be fighting over something, but they have a equal power amongst the individuals in the group. So I'm going to give a few examples, and so you can tell me if you think that it's conflict or bullying. So the first example is Ashley and Alex have been best friends. They get into an argument, and Ashley now claims that Megan is her best friend, and Alex is hurt. So is this conflict or bullying? Right, it's conflict. So they were friends, they got into a fight, and now Ashley is claiming that Megan is now her best friend, and Alex is hurt. But there is no perceived power imbalance. They can work this out. So for the second example, a group of 6th grade girls calls Brianne names, and they start rumors and encourage others to talk about her. Is this bullying or conflict? This is bullying. So Brianne was being called names, there were rumors started about her, and the other people are encouraging others to talk about these rumors. So this is bullying because there is a perceived power imbalance. The girls who are starting the rumors are the ones that have the perceived greater power. So for the third example, Anna and Carly are good friends. They get into a fight over a PlayStation game. Is this conflict or bullying? Right. This is conflict. So this is something that could be worked out. They're just fighting over a game. There's no power imbalance here. So the last one is an 8th grade student keeps pushing a 6th grade student around in the hallways. Is this bullying or conflict? Right, it's bullying. So the 8th grade student is perceived as bigger and is targeting the 6th grade student by pushing them around in the hallways. So there are different types of bullying. The first type of bullying is verbal bullying. So this could be name calling, mocking, insulting another student, teasing, intimidation, or homophobic or racist remarks. So as we mentioned before, those characteristics that they might target. There's also social bullying. So social bullying is excluding others from the group or embarrassing someone in public or spreading gossip or rumors. And then there's physical bullying, such as hitting, shoving, or damaging or stealing somebody's property. And there's also cyberbullying. So this is through the use of email, cell phones, or any social media sites. So students in our school have been taking different roles in bullying. There's not just the bully and the victim and that's it. So the first role in bullying is the person who is the main bully, the initiator, the person who is the perceived leader of the group, right? Or the perceived leader of the grade. Maybe they're the biggest one in the grade. So this is the initiator, the person who initiates those mean remarks or physical acts. So besides the bully, there's also the other students who join in the bullying. So they become the bully based on the perceived leader of the group. So this person might join the bullying in fear of being the bully's target. So they might, say bullying remarks to another student because they don't want the bullying to come to them. There's also students who support the bullying but do not join in. So they might be the people in the group that, say like, oh yeah, or maybe make a comment here and there to agree with the bully, but they're not necessarily joining in by making those remarks towards the victim. So there's also students who observe the bullying, so they kind of just take a step back and they just observe what's going on but don't really partake in any way. They don't stick up for the victim. They don't really engage in the bullying behavior. They just observe what's going on and maybe really don't have much of a opinion about it. And then there's students who dislike bullying but act as a bystander. So they don't feel comfortable with the bullying behavior, but they also don't feel comfortable sticking up for the victim as well. And this also could be in fear of becoming the next victim as well. And then there's the upstander. So that's something that we focus on in school. So that's the person who realizes that the bullying is wrong and they do act and they do help the victim by saying that this is wrong or by being their friend. So next, I want to address why bullies bully. So, it really is important to step back and see why the bullies are bullying. So one reason why a bully will bully is due to their own low self-esteem. They might, not feel very good about themselves. And this isn't in every case, but it could be in some cases that the bully, wants to feel stronger or smarter or better than another person. So they might bully in order to make themselves feel like the bigger person when they don't normally feel like the bigger person inside. And they could also be struggling at home. Maybe there's some conflict between them and their sibling, and they feel like the smaller person at home, and so they'll go to school and make another person feel smaller at school by bullying. So there could be, other struggles at home going on. And sometimes it could be the thing to do to be a part of the crowd. You just want to belong to a group, and so you partake in the bullying because, targeting that person gives you something to talk about, maybe. There's also jealousy. So bullying can happen because somebody's just jealous. Maybe they have something that that bully wants, and so to make themselves feel better, they're going to target that person. Or lastly, there could be the prevention of becoming the target. So as I mentioned before, those who partake in the bullying but are not the initiator, they might do it because they don't want to end up being the target. So there's different ways to empathize with the bully. Our current focus right now, I've seen in school, is teaching students either to be the upstander instead of the bystander. So, this is great to teach other students that they need to stick up for, the students who are being victimized, especially because if people are sticking up to the bully, they are less likely to stop, or more likely to stop, and less likely to carry on with the behavior. And also we focus on empowering the victim to stick up for themselves and to realize that the bully does have something within them that they also do feel less inside and need that power, and to not give them that power that they're trying to get. And we also implement punishment. So based on HIB, if they are found guilty, we will give that student a punishment. But there is definitely more that we could do. I mean, as teachers and counselors, we can really work with the bully to see their side of the story. So I want to talk about empathizing with the bully. There's many ways that we can empathize with the bully. We said that there are reasons why they're bullying, so let's figure out why. So the first thing that we could do is to make sure that their emotional needs are met. So when a bullying situation occurs, most of the time, we feel bad for the victim, which makes total sense. The bully does not deserves to be punished for their actions if they have bullied somebody. But at the same time, they are children, and we need to be able to make sure that we are also there for them. Our job is to advocate for all students. So we should make sure that the emotional needs are met for these students as well. So we should be the outlet for these children to identify and share their feelings with. I'm sure that there are feelings within them, and that's why these behaviors are coming out. We can also teach social skills so that they could find a common ground with other students, and encourage them to explore other perspectives and see how other students feel in the position that they're in, the ones that are being victimized. And also modeling empathy is important, so showing ways to empathize with others, and also to talk about how their behavior impacts others. So lastly, I just want to talk about giving tools to prevent bullies from bullying. So I have provided some worksheets that you can give your students that may partake in bullying behavior, and this could help to minimize the behavior. So the first thing is being able to identify and accept and celebrate differences. So a lot of times they do focus on those characteristics that we mentioned before, like race or gender identity, things like that. So accepting differences and seeing that we're not all the same and celebrating that can be a way for these students to not pinpoint characteristics such as these. Also, skills on learning how to trust others. So they might not trust their friends or their teachers, and that's why they're not coming to talk about their feelings or something that might be inside, and that's why they're lashing out in this negative way. Also, helping to develop empathy, as I mentioned before. Express emotions. So again, they might be keeping it in, so these worksheets can help for them to express what they are feeling. And communication or social skills such as listening. I know it can be really hard to hear that they're hurting somebody else. So being able to really listen and take perspective on what the other person might be experiencing. And giving and receiving feedback is also important for the same reason. Giving feedback and saying to other students, expressing how they feel about something, and also taking in what other students express to them. And then lastly, we need to be the support that they need to learn these tools, because without us, they wouldn't be able to learn these tools. So I've attached some worksheets to go along with how to teach these skills, and also a worksheet just summarizing what I have presented here. So I just want to thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.